Okay, we're learning the Sikha in Shaiftem. This is in Chelik Chav Daled, where the Rebbe is discussing what's going to be with Ari Miklat Lasad Lavai. The Makar and Torah for Moshiach in the mitzvah that the Torah says is Ari Miklat. So until Sifei in the Sikha, the Rebbe went through all different kinds of questions, say how there's going to be an Indian of Ari Miklat Lasad Lavai. And the Rebbe showed that all the pshatim that it says in different mefarshim don't really fit with what it says in the Rambam in different sources. Okay, let's go directly see here the Rebbe's answer in Sifei. Sifei, page 110. Yeshloima the beer and them. So the explanation here is as follows. From the fact that Lasad Lavai we're adding another 3 cities of Ari Miklat is Kain Rayanit. There's no proof at all as Demolt that the world is going to function and remain the same as it is today. The Ari Miklat will be for someone that killed B'Shegig before Mashiach came. Bizman Hazeh. He did this Bizman Hazeh, and then he needs the Ir Miklat to be available for him after Mashiach comes. Und Zayin de Gdamot in the art says Keni Knizi v'Kadmaini. And then, when there's going to be a chelik of Klal Yisrael that's going to be living in the lands of Keni Knizi Kadmaini, Vertadafim Goyla Zayin in Ir Miklat. He's going to have to go into a city of an Ir Miklat. This individual that killed B'Shegig Bizman Hazeh, so he has to go into the city of Ir Miklat for many, many years until the Kohen Gadol passes away. So anybody alive when Mashiach comes that Chas v'Shalom killed someone B'Shegig Bizman Hazeh, and Bizman Hazeh it certainly is possible that such a thing should happen. So he needs an Ir Miklat available for him to go to in that time. So if he's living in a place of Keni. Oh, okay, that's a good question. That's a good question. So let's see out of 39 the Rebbe addresses the question you just brought up. You're asking what happens if B'Shas the Ritzicha was done, there was no Kohen Gadol. That you still have to stay in the Ir Miklat until the Kohen Gadol passes away. So let's see what it says in Order 39. But before we go to 39, let's go in order. Let's see what it says in Order 38, where the Rebbe brings one opinion regarding exactly where Keni Knizi Kadmani is located. Ubefrat la'adeis shehein eretz Edom Ammon Umayev. These are the cities that are Edom Ammon and Umayev. Shegam lefnei bias HaMashiach nitzam sham Yudim. Even before Mashiach comes, Yidden are there. I'm not sure what this is based on. This order. I mean, today, Eretz, Edom, Ammon, and Moav, I'm not even sure where it is today in the map. You know, it's definitely on the other side of the Yarden, but on the other side of the Yarden today is either desert or it's Jordan. Today's Jordan. There's not a single Jew living in Jordan as far as I know. So I'm not sure what this means, that Eretz, Edom, Ammon, and Moav, even before Mashiach comes, there are Yidden there. It's possible for there to be Yidden there, but today, practically speaking, there are no Yidden there. Anyone have an idea what this? It's a very interesting ha'ara there. Okay, ha'ara 39. Now, v'gam la'adeya, what? Where in Jordan? There's Jews today living in Jordan. Even a single Jew in Egypt. In Egypt, there are some few Yidden.
In Jordan, I didn't have any Jews.
Not a single Jew.
I think it's all Palestinians there.
Right.
And the Jewish woman married an Arab or something.
Yeah. Okay. Ha'ara 39. Let's see. There's one opinion which the Ritva brings in the Gemara of Makis. So the Ritva actually says interesting that you have to have a Kohen Gadol that is alive and serving as a Kohen Gadol at the time when the Ritzicha, when the murder took place. V'im lav, if there's no Kohen Gadol alive then any Yetzim Misham La'ilam. So then you actually never leave the Ir Miklat.
So according to this, the person that killed his man says no Kohen Gadol.
He has to be Goyla to the Ir Miklat and he never leaves. Okay, or yeah, I mean that's what the Ritva is saying. Yeah, Shloima.
But that's not a question really.
No, and
that's actually making it stronger that we need on it.
Because whoever killed the Shaygig is going to have to be there forever.
Right.
Yeah, Shloima, but the Rebbe says this whole point that the Ritva says that only when there's a Kohen Gadol, that's if it was a time period when the Beis Hamikdash is standing and there's a possibility for there to be a Kohen Gadol. Mashenkim v'nitin didan ein zeh ma'akiv. Over here, in our case, you don't need the Kohen Gadol.
It could be today.
Correct.
I have to go to one of these mikvot that come later on.
But the Kohen Gadol will live forever. No one's dying in the Mashiach times.
Okay. Okay. Now the Rebbe adds another point. You don't need to have a Kohen Gadol at the time when the Ritzicha happened, but he should be at the time of the Gemar Din when Bezdin Paskins that he killed B'Shegig and he has to go to the Ir Miklat. I'm not sure what the relevance of this over here is. The lav mina loy machreva. I'm not sure the connection here. I mean that Gemara talks about the kavana shalei l'shma by a carbon. That when you have shalei l'shma by a carbon of something that's not the min of this carbon, it doesn't passel the carbon. That's what the Gemara in Zvachim is talking about. The connection to the subject over here, I'm not sure. The pshat in the Sa'ara. Okay, let's continue. Going back inside the Sikha. Now, the Rebbe here is saying this idea that you need the Ari Miklat La'asad Lavai for those Yidden that killed Bizman Hazeh B'Shegeg. Where do you find such a concept? So this is the Rebbe's Chiddush, but you see such a thing in another place. By Chiyuv Chatas, you find a similar concept regarding a Chiyuv Chatas. As Rabbi Shmuel, Kasav al Pinkaseh, Rabbi Shmuel had a pinkus, a journal that he would write for himself, different things, and he wrote in it as Kashiyabana V'Sam Migdash, Avi Chatash Shmeina. When the Beis Hamikdash will be built, I will bring a carbon chatas from a fat animal, a good, expensive carbon. This is the story with Rabbi Shmuel, where the Gemara says that there was a gzeira of Chazal that you're not allowed to read in Shabbos close to a candle because Shema Yata. You may come to tilt the candle to fix its light. And Rabbi Shmuel said that's Ekra V'layata. I'll be careful. And he went and he was reading, and the light got dim, and he did the Isser of being Mata B'Shegeg. And after he said that, he understood what the significance of Gezeiris of Chazal is. Chazal understand how a person behaves and what he does, and you can forget. But after he did that, he wrote down in his journal, when Mashiach comes, he's going to bring a carbon chata shmeina. Okay, so what we see over here is that the Aveira was done bizman hazeh, but you have to record it. And then lost lava, you bring that carbon. The same thing also with Golus. That if the person killed b'shegig b'zman hazeh, so you don't say, if it happened b'zman hazeh, so then lost lava, he doesn't have to go to Golus. I don't know. When Mashiach comes, so then there'll be a Golus, and I'll have to go into Golus. Okay, now this is an interesting thing. This Gemara, this story about this Chatos. Let's see what it says in Order 41 about this. The Rebbe is mitzayin to the Gemara where it says this in the Gemara in Yuma, Encyclopedia Talmudis, and then the Rebbe adds. Even if you're going to say Al Pimash and his boyer, that the Rebbe explained this, the Rebbe once spoke about the Sinyan Barichas and Afabrengen, She'ein ze chiyuv al kol echad. This is not a chiyuv. In other words, is this actually practical? Is this true? That everybody bisman hazeh has a chiyuv to keep a journal and to write if he was Machal Shabbos b'Shegig or something that it would be chayav a carbon chatas, and then when Mashiach comes, you're going to have to bring a carbon chatas? Is this an actual halacha? There's no such a halacha in Shulchan Aruch, and you don't see anybody, even Gedei Yisrael, should keep a journal like Rabbi Shmuel and write about a carbon chatas that they're going to bring lasted lavai. So it can't be that this is a chiyuv. And the reason is that as a shleimus akapara nasis ayidei tshuva shebizman hazeh. Today that there's no Beis Hamikdash and there's no possibility to bring a carbon, so that today the Eibush gives us the kayach of tshuva even stronger than bizman shebeis Hamikdash kaim. It's an interesting thing. On one hand, we're in a darkness, we're in Golus, and it's a lower time period, but yet the fact that you can't bring a carbon is an indication that today tshuva could accomplish even what it couldn't accomplish bizman shebeis Hamikdash kaim. Okay, so l'chayda over here you see that what you do bizman hazeh when Beis Hamikdash is built, you don't have to bring a carbon chatas. So maybe we should say similar regarding a person that kills b'shegig, that when Mashiach comes, it says yeshleima, but still we could say the shani golus. The golus is different than from a carbon. Shu loirak kaparek a carbon. Golus is not just an atonement. A golus has the aspect of a kapara, but also has another thing. Elegam geder einish. There's also part of the union of Golus is that it's an einish. And that einish, there's no reason why we should say when Mashiach comes, the einish of Golus should not apply. The kapara, you could say, Bizman hazeh, we have a koyach to do tshuva more than Bizman shebeis Hamikdash kaim. But the einish aspect, That is something that doesn't change. The fact that today we can't go to Golos. As soon as Mashiach comes, though, you have to go into Golos.
We spent 2,000 years in Golos. As soon as Moshiach comes, you got to go to Golos again.
Yeah.
It's
This
not
also
paid
means. I mean, this might mean. I mean, this will be tell you how you understand what happens by Tchias HaMesim. Does this mean that after Tchias HaMesim, someone that killed B'Shegig when he was alive, Bisman Golos, and after he gets up at Tchias HaMesim, he's going to have to go into Golos?
Same person.
Well, and you just mentioned before that the problem is if he has to go into Golos, and you have to remain in Golos until the Kohen Gadol passes away. But if after the Zman of Tchias HaMesim, if it's Chaim Nitzchim, the Kohen Gadol is not passing away, so you remain in Golos forever.
Doesn't he go through Gehenim and everything?
Right.
But in those days, no one was getting killed. You're still safe.
Okay, but the Rebbe is not bringing that in here. So there's three different points about Golos. One is a kapara. The second point is an einish, that you're exiled from your home. And the third is to save yourself from the Goyal Adam that has the right to take revenge and kill you. But the Rebbe is not bringing up. Well, I don't know if that applies after Tchias HaMesim. No, but another thing is regarding Tchias HaMesim, there's a famous shaila that the Rebbe discusses in a different sikha. The individual that gets up at Tchias HaMesim, is he the same Metzias as he was before? Is he a new Metzias? Does he have to be Mekadesh his wife again, a new Kedushin, or is it the same Kedushin before? And many different halachas, many different shailas about this. The Rebbe discusses this in another sikha. Maybe we'll learn it at a different time.
That's a misi, it's a kapara.
The misa itself. A kapara, an einish. So his misa was already mechaper. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I hear. Okay. One more paragraph here. Let's continue in the harder. V'af.
One second. The Chayv we're talking about all the people who were in Golos in the generation the Golos came. So far, right?
Yeah, the pashtus. That's the simple shot. Correct. Yeah, the simple shot of the Sahara. Correct.
So far, I'm saying.
Yeah, we're talking about. Yeah, exactly. Correct. Now, va'av shechiv korban chatos mitzvah sayachid. Now, here the Rebbe is bringing a source for this idea that you find by korban chatos that the avedi b'shegig you did bisman hazeh yechayev to bring the korban lost lavai, or you could bring a korban lost lavai, but who says we could compare that to Golos? Korban chatos is mitzvah sayachid. Mitzvah the Golos, the mitzvah to designate these cities for Golos, that the people that kill b'shegig should go there. He mitzvahs habezdin. It's not actually a mitzvah that lies on the individual. The Rebbe brings it from the lashon of the Rambam. The Rambam says the mitzvah sasei lihagloisai. This is a mitzvah that lies upon the bezdin. That when this individual comes to bezdin, and then the bezdin has to analyze what happened, that he killed b'shegig or b'meizeh, the bezdin has to send him to Golos. Okay, so now maybe you could argue and say that if it was the mitzvah of the yachid, so this yachid, what he did carries over to Zman when Mashiach comes, that he has the einish and the kapara, that he goes into Golos. But when you get to the bezdin, does a bezdin have a responsibility to send to Golos someone that killed b'shegig b'zman hazeh? Harei gam. So the Rebbe says it's not only the mitzvah on the bezdin. Harei gam hamakke gam hu b'chlal mitzvah saseizu. It's not only the bezdin, but the person that hit. In other words, the person that killed b'shegig, he's also part of this mitzvah. Shenema, as the pasuk says, Olav ki be'ir miklota yeshev. He has to sit in the ir miklot ad ma'isa kohen gadol, till the kohen gadol passes away. So we see the mitzvah that is lies upon him as well. Now va'af shezeu la'achar gemardin. You don't have a chiyuv to go into Golos until you go to bezdin first. The person that kills b'shegig does not have to run right away to ir miklot. The first bezdin has to paskin that he has to go into Golos. But as we'll spring soon, that he does, there is the inyan of him going to the Ir Miklat immediately to protect himself and save himself of the Goyal Adam, which is a relative that would want to take revenge and kill him for what he did. Okay, now that's the next point that we're going to learn right now inside the Sikha. The Rebbe is going to focus on explaining this. What's the inyan of going into Ir Miklat? Okay, let's go back inside the Sikha on page 111, first paragraph. So now you could argue and say, as the tam funavdola sari miklot, what is simply the reason why? You have to designate these cities. You have to prepare the roads. The Gemara says the roads directing to Ari Miklat had to be very large roads. I think it said it had to be 32 amas wide. Very wide roads, and I had to have these signs that were pointing miklot, that the person should see and know exactly where he has to go. And what's the reason why it has to be so clear? As pen yirdev goyal adam achrei haritzeach. What happens if the goyal adam is chasing the ritzeach? Ki yechem levavai, because he's going to be hot-headed. Or his heart is going to be very angry. V'yisigai, and he's going to reach this person ki yarba derech, because it's going to be a long distance. V'yikol nefesh, and he's going to take revenge and kill him. Which means kidei cannot life from the goyal adam. The point of ir miklat is in order to be safe. In the ir miklat, to be safe from the goyal adam. Und der Fahr im Yachav Hashem lekechas gevulcha, when the Eibishter broadens your territory, so you have to Arim, you have to have another 3 cities. Azayich Demoltz, and in the Arim Miklot, am Makim Atzalaf and Goyal Adam. So the simple pshat of the pasuk is you need to be sure that the Ir Miklot is not too far. If this wasn't the main point, if the inyan of Ir Miklot is just a Einish or a Kapara, why should you have to add another 3 Arim Miklot? You could have Arim Miklot far away, and the person will travel there and he'll go to Bislach, he'll go slow. The whole inyan of adding another 3 in Eretz Keni Knizi Kadmaini, so it should be close enough that if you're running away, so that he shouldn't reach you.
It's not convenience.
Yeah, it's not only convenience, it's actually to save your life. Life saving, yeah.
That's why it has to be 30
Close.
kilometers wide.
The street has to be 32 amas wide, that even if there's a traffic jam, there should be enough space for you to go through to be able to get to the Ir Miklat on time. Now this you could ask, what did we just explain? We're talking about a person that killed b'shegig b'zman hazeh, because they can't have killing b'shegig l'asad lavai. But l'chayre is yecham levav goy min shayach l'asad lavai. To be concerned that there's someone that gets so hot at it and he wants to take revenge, that's not possible l'asad lavai. Talking about in a time period where there's no yetzahara in this kind of way. So how can we say this pshat here? Okay, so the Rebbe actually says, Zokman dachaber b'sifri b'parsha seinu. It says though in the Sifri in this week's parsha, mitzvah b'yad goyel adam lirdef. That it's actually a mitzvah of the goyel adam to revenge and to run after him. When we balt says a mitzvah is moving on das shaykh lasad lavai. So if this is a mitzvah, so this could happen even lasad lavai. That's what it says here. Ubemele darfen sein die Arim Miklot kedei zu cannot leifen from them Goyal Adam. So therefore you have to have this Ir Miklot to run away from the Goyal Adam.
So, he has a mitzvah to kill him.
That's what it says. Yeah, let's see. The Rebbe's going to explain this soon.
That's
Yeah.
the first period of Moshiach, when it'll be only before Pesach.
Could be. We'll see. Okay, I love Dafke. We'll see in the Hemshech. Over here. Okay, but the Rebbe is going to talk more about this inyan of Yecham Levavai. Yecham Levavai. We're not done. This is just this is what it says in the Sifri. When there's a person that Achman al-Islam spills blood, even if it happened b'sheigig, but nevertheless, the fact that he did such a kind of thing, that he spilled blood, his kapara and his einish is that that you take revenge and you have to spill his blood and take his neshama away from the world. That and it's a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah. So if it's a mitzvah, then it's shaykh, even lasad lavai. Okay, now the Rebbe clarifies. This is what it says in the Sifri. However, there's a Mishnah about this. B'Mishnah Isa. There's a Mishnah in Masechta Makis that says, as mitzvah b'yad goyel adam to hagen dem ritzeach. When do you say that there's a mitzvah for the goyel adam to kill the ritzeach? Nor in fall von der ritzeach sheyotza l'tchum chutz l'tchum ari miklat u'matzay goyel adam. That's if he was inside the Ir Miklat and he leaves. If he leaves from the Ir Miklat, then the goyel adam has the mitzvah to take revenge and to kill him. Aber nit wenn halt erst beim Antläufen in Ir Miklat. But when he's running originally to go to the Ir Miklat, then there is no mitzvah for the goyel adam to kill him. That's what it's mashmar from the Mishnah. Okay. Aber the Rebbe says as follows: K'dei sheloi la'afushi b'machloikis. In order not to add another argument here between what it says in the Sifri says it's always a mitzvah for the goyel adam to kill, and from the Mishnah where it's mashma that only after he leaves the Ir Miklat, Yeshleima, we can suggest and say as follows: As oich leiderdeye, even according to this opinion here in the Mishnah, meint this nit. The Mishnah does not mean to say as dafke demelt, that only then la'achar v'yer zarein in Ir Miklatoi von dort reis chutz l'tchum, that only if he entered and then he left, verdan is schadish mitzvah from goyel adam, that only then is there a new mitzvah that the goyel adam now has that he should kill him. Aber eide that it sayach kommt le Ir Miklat, but before he enters into the Ir Miklat is an isser auf den goyel adam so hagenen dem ritzeach. So up until that point, it's forbidden for him to kill him. Punkt via andere mensch, just like you're not allowed to kill any other yid. So before he ever entered into the Ir Miklat, it's forbidden. So the Rebbe says that's not the case. Not as oich l'deyezu is melechatchila, even from the beginning. Noch far der nisa la'ori miklot, even before he ran away into the miklot, is shoin da a mitzvah al derech b'shittas hasifri, like the Sifri says, if goel adam to noikim zayin misas krevre, to take revenge for the death of his relative. Since you see the Torah is giving him this option, this protection to go to the city, is angekommen leir miklatoi is Arya der Levi alei of dem Goel Adam und kennet mekayim sein mitzvasai. So really he has a mitzvah, but because you didn't allow the Ritzeach to run yet to his ir miklat, so B'poil, you shouldn't go ahead and kill him. This expression of Arya der Levi love is like in a situation when you have a mitzvah, but there's something external that is stopping you from fulfilling the mitzvah. So the Mishnah is not saying that you don't have the actual mitzvah right from the beginning. The emphasis is that you have the mitzvah right from the beginning in order to kill him. But nevertheless, you first have to give him the opportunity to run to the Ir Miklat. So, and if you don't give him that opportunity first, so then B'poil, it's like missing in the Zman of fulfilling the mitzvah. But really the mitzvah starts from the moment that he killed your relative. Okay, so therefore if it's a mitzvah, it's going to apply even Lasad Lavi when Mashiach comes. Okay, what's this in you? What's this mitzvah all about? What is this mitzvah of, yeah? Huh? Okay.
You don't like that mitzvah?
Let's see. Okay.
It's going to come. It will be good. Wouldn't it?
Okay, let's learn the Ha'ad over here. Let's learn the Ha'ad of 47. You turn back to the page before Ha'ad of 47. Let's see what the Rebbe says. Okay, so we have to have Ir Miklat to save the Ritzeach from the Goyal Adam, and that's even loss of Lavai. So here in Ha'ad of 47, the Rebbe clarifies as follows. Even if you're going to say, today we don't have this din of Golus, and there is no din of Goyal Adam either. It's not only an external reason, Arya, and as I mentioned, Arya means when you have a lion that's preventing you of going somewhere, meaning that the obligation is there, the mitzvah is there. It's an external reason that's stopping you. So if you're going to say the fact of Ismat, why today is there no Inyan of Golus? Why today is there no Inyan of the mitzvah of Golus and Goyal Adam? It's an external reason because we don't have all Yidden in Eretz Yisrael. The mitzvah of Golus applies when all Yidden are there. It's a Beis HaMikdash, so then you have the mitzvah. So this seems to be just an external reason. Ella, rather you can say Shemufka be'etzem. It's not just an external reason that's stopping, but it doesn't apply at all. The whole concept doesn't exist today, B'chlal. The fact that there's no Golus today, it's a different, the Chiyuv doesn't exist. This is a Chiyuv that's only in a certain time period, and today that Chiyuv does not exist. So if so, what's the Rebbe asking over here? So you can argue and say that if when the person killed B'Shoigig, if when it happened B'Zman Hazeh, and B'Zman Hazeh, there is no Inyan of Golus, there is no Inyan of Goyal Adam, the whole concept of Golus and Goyal Adam is only when you have all Yidden in Eretz Yisrael. So then, if Mashiach comes and then all Yidden go to Eretz Yisrael, you can't say that now you need the Golus and there will be a possibility for the Goyal Adam to take revenge. If the Aveda, the Tziche, B'Shoigig happens B'Zman Hazeh, it's Mufka Be'etzem, doesn't apply B'chlal, even after Mashiach comes. Harei, 1 second, Harei Mikim Shachet Hoirig Nefesh. What's this Aveda of Chas v'Shalom killing another Yid? Hu mishum hamispoel v'havadova nimshach. This is the lashon that the Rogatchover says. When you kill Chas v'Shalom another Yid, it's not a one-time act that the Aveda consists of. It's an Aveda that you took away a life, which is a continued thing every single moment after that. That his life is not here in the world. Hachet nimshach la'olam. This Aveda that you took away this neshama that could have lived in the world another period of time and now he's not alive in the world. It's not just one act. It's a ongoing act that continues forever. So nimtza keilu nase ma'isa chet oz. Oh, this is a very important point for the whole Hezbollah Sikha. If a person kills someone b'shegig b'zman hazeh, so the fact that he would be chayiv to go to Golus when Mashiach comes is not only because of the Aveda that happened b'zman hazeh. The fact that he took away that life at one point in time, it's an Aveda which is nimshach later as well. There's a similar word that the Rebbe brings from the Rogatchover also regarding Geneva. when you steal something, it's also not a one-time act. Most avedas that you do, which are whether ben adam la mokim, whether ben adam la chavedai, the aveda is a one-time act. The person he eats treif, he eats chametz on Pesach. The aveda consists of that ma'aser that he does there and then. V'zehu. There's no hemshich to it. But then you have certain mitzvahs that has a hemshich. For example, mitzvahs mila. It's not only a ma'aser of mila, but it changes the status of the person, that he's a mohol, that he's not an odol, and he becomes a mohol for forever. Right? The same thing also benegate to certain avedas like geneva. You steal something. It's not just an act of stealing. You have the person's object in your possession. It's an ongoing aveda that continues as long as you're keeping it. The same thing over here. The fact that you took away his neshama from the world, it's an ongoing result that is nimshach forever. So therefore, it's as if then la'asad lava, you're doing then the aveda. Ubemele yashno yachiyuv galus. Adam. So therefore, the mitzvah of galus and the mitzvah of Goyal Adam applies even then as well. Similar concept, right? That it's nimshach, that the churban is nimshach. Okay. Okay, that's the word over here based on what the Rogatchover says. Okay. Let's see. Seven opinions about this over here. Whatever says, second. Okay, now order 52, the Rebbe brings from Achrayim. Let's see just the order 52. The Rebbe says, "B'sifri de beirav, the man de islay mitzvah, afilu betchilas a mitzvah, the man de islay mitzvah, afilu betchila mitzvah." The one that says that it's a mitzvah to kill the Goyal Adam, that the mitzvah, the Goyal Adam that is, has a mitzvah to kill the Reitzayach, so it's a mitzvah from the first second. And this is even according to the Mishnah. He doesn't come to a conclusion about this. Then there's the beard of Harav Yeruchim Fishel per law. Sefer Mitzvahs Rasag, Mitzvahs Loisas Seresha and Dal Kosav, Bipirish HaSifri. He explained the Sifri. Shah Mitzvah L'Rotvoi Lier Meklata. He has an original opinion about this. The mitzvah of the Goyal Adam here, you're going to like this. Are you late? Rabbi Fust? You see what it says here? He says over here that the mitzvah is, we're in order 52, I'm reading it for you.
Yeah.
So he says here that the mitzvah is that the relative has to chase him to the Ir Miklat, but v'lo largai. There is no mitzvah to take revenge and to kill him. The mitzvah is just he has a kapara, to go to the Ir Miklat, and the relative is the one that has to, similar to what it says regarding someone that's chayiv skila, yad ha'edim tia by barishayna, that sometimes it says that the Edom that saw it, they're the ones that have to make sure that he gets his punishment of skila. So over here as well, it's the relative that the Abisha gives the mitzvah to chase him into the Ir Mikla, but not to kill him.
Oh, so that explains Moshiach claims.
No, what?
Because of Goyal Hadam, because Moshiach will come, nobody will get killed.
Right.
How does that have a Goyal Hadam running after to kill him?
Exactly. Yeah. It's not. He's not running after him to kill him.
Just to chase him.
He's running after him to chase him.
Well,
Okay, but the lashon of the pasuk though, I'm not sure exactly how he teaches the pasuk, because in the lashon of the pasuk it says ki yecham levavoi v'hisiga ki arba derech v'hiko nafesh. In the lashon of the pasuk it does say that he may become hot-headed and chase after him, and he may kill him. But it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what the mitzvah is. It doesn't have a mitzvah to kill him. The mitzvah is that he should just chase him into ayin sham. You have to look over that. I didn't see inside there what he says, but I'm sure he has rayas to this. What the Sifri de Beirav, he says no. The mitzvah of the Goyal Adam, even from the beginning, even before he goes into the Ir Miklot, he does have a mitzvah to kill him. Okay. So this is the general point of the Rebbe's Teretz. We'll see much more about this in the Hemshech L'Sicha. But again, why do we need a Ir Miklot lasted lavai? Because of the Aveda that happens Bisman Hazeh, and that Aveda is Nimshach. It's as if you're doing the Aveda later also. So then there's the union of Ir Miklot applies then as well. It's only the beginning of the Hezbollah. The continuation is coming.
Every mitzvah is a full of shachas, no?
No, not every mitzvah. If you eat matzah, for example,